So Todd Gurley's a Falcon. It's been finalized, signed, sealed, and delivered. First of all, I'd like to say a fun fact. It's kind of weird. If you look back, almost every great Ram running back has played for the Falcons. Going back to Eric Dickerson played for the Falcons. Steven Jackson played for the Falcons. Now Todd Gurley played for the Falcons. It's really weird. Marshall Faulk didn't play for the Falcons, if you were wondering. So that's weird. So is Todd still an elite player? I believe so, but it is going to be a very. It's going to be a very It's like a prove it deal, because everyone knows about the arthritis, and our arthritis only gets worse over time. And it's a damn shame that he has that in his knee, because he's a very, very talented player. I mean, he showed it. Showed it in that 2-year span between 2016 2017. I believe he scored around 20, 35 touchdowns. Don't quote me, but it should be around there. And I think he had like 4,000 scrimmage yards, maybe 3,000. So this will be a really telling whether or not he still can prove it. I'm still surprised that they released him in the first place, signing him to that big, massive deal, which it was a bad deal. Because if you look at the history, with every top-priced running back, almost none of them have been able to take their team to a Super Bowl. I believe they were like 11-23 in the past decade in playoff games, and only one of them won a Super Bowl. Don't quote me, but I think one of them, but I'm not sure. But I know they were like 11-31 or 11-22 in playoff games. But yeah, it was still surprising because he still had a pretty good season, over 800 yards and around 10 touchdowns. So it was really weird for them to move on from him, even though it was still a productive season. It was probably to save cap, because why would you be paying somebody top dollar for only 800 yards a season? That just doesn't make sense. I want a guy that can get me 1,000 yards and maybe get 500 yards in the air and take me to the postseason, take me to a Super Bowl, which he had. But C.J. Anderson carried that team the last few games, and in the playoffs, more or less, he carried that team. So, will he do good in Atlanta? I think he'll probably have still a good season. I don't think he'll have a great season, but I think he'll have a good season. I think he'll show that everybody that he's still a good player, and that he can still contribute to a team for years to come. But that knee is just going to keep nagging and nagging him until he can't play anymore, which I think is going to probably cut his career short, and it's going to be a darn shame. But only time can tell whether or not it's going to work out for him. So, I hope it does. But who knows?